Welcome to the Manhattan and New Lenox TRIAD presentation on tips on how to take care of yourself during the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, our presenter is Master in Social Work, Gretchen Knowlton, Advocacy and Planning Specialist from the AgeGuide Northeastern Illinois. Thank you for joining us today, Gretchen.
Thanks for having me. I'm so thrilled to be here with you this afternoon. And it was an extra bonus that I got to hear about gardening in the middle of my workday. How fun is that? I love it. As Jackie said, I'm a specialist at AgeGuide, which is the area agency on aging for this region. And at AgeGuide, we like to say that I'm getting an internet is unstable. Are you guys hearing me okay? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We empower older adults so that they can remain independent, connected, and to age well. And our focus is really on helping older adults to remain at home as long as they can in their own communities and in their own homes. So we do that through advocacy and coordinating resources like meals, transportation, caregiver services, and family supports as well. So these are meaningful services that help to optimize the quality of life and offer some peace of mind. So if you haven't heard of us before, or even if you have, I encourage you to go to our website, which is just ageguide.org, and check out all of the resources we have there. And I'll be talking to you about some specific things that we have on our website. So I understand that you guys would like to hear an update on some of the scams related to COVID-19 that are targeting older adults specifically. And there are, unfortunately, a lot of coronavirus-related scams going on out there. They're rapidly increasing as this emergency continues to develop. And the scammers like to target older adults and those with serious long-term health conditions, as you know. And the fraudsters are attempting to build Medicare, or that they shouldn't be, sham tests or treatments related to the virus, and they're targeting individuals to try to illegally obtain money or Medicare numbers. You know, it's the same old stuff that I know you guys have heard about these things before. Now they just have a slight new twist because they're related to the COVID-19 crisis. And these scams are changing and adapting so quickly that it's hard to tell you about anything really specifically, because they tend to follow whatever is the latest thing, the latest news. They follow the headlines. So as the headlines change, we'll see the scams change and adjust. The main thing that I wanted to share is that you can really help with this. Those of you who are on the call are obviously, just by virtue that you're connected to this group, you're involved and you are concerned citizens and you know what's going on. So you can help by reporting these things to the FTC and obviously to law enforcement partners. So I'll just give you that FTC website, and then we can also share it with you after the call, but it's ftc.gov/complaint. So that's an important website for you to know about, www.ftc.gov/complaint. And if you think that you have heard about a scam, if you have friends who have been scammed, if you see something or get something in the mail or over email, report it. You could be wrong. They'll check it out for you. You don't have to worry about that. So I thought I'd go over a few of the common types of COVID-19 scams that we've been seeing. A lot of them come by email or robocalls, regular mail, and text messages. And they tend to be things like offers for a vaccine. You know, there is no vaccine at this time. So if you see something about offering you a vaccine, just delete it, ignore it. They're also offering things like the test kits. And you know, the only way you can get a test for COVID-19 is through a healthcare professional. So don't respond to anything that's coming over the phone or email. Some of them are offering miracle cures. There's some Medicare related scams. And then some of these scams are related to the stimulus checks that you should have all received by now. There's also ones related to investment opportunities related to COVID treatments or drugs, which again, there really isn't anything on the market yet. So that's not something that you want to invest in. And then they're also using charity or crowdfunding sites around the public emergency to try to get people to donate to these things. The goal is always, of course, to try to get your money, your information, or get you to a website that will collect your data or infect your computer with a virus. So those are the three things that they're always targeting. So what to do about that? I would really recommend that you stick with known and trusted sites. So if you're looking for healthcare information, you could go to your own healthcare provider's site. You can go to the CDC. Stick with those kinds of sites. You can always check our site for resources as well at AgeGuide.org. Don't click on any sources that you don't know. So if you get an email and you don't really know who it's from and don't recognize it, don't follow through with anything that they're telling you to click on. If you're getting phone calls, just hang up. If you're not sure who it is, you don't even have to answer those phone calls that come from numbers that you don't recognize that aren't already in your contacts. And just delete the emails, throw away the mail, and then report it. If it's something that you can jot down the name of who it was that called you or that sent you the email, you can report that to the FTC. One thing I've heard about recently is this one related to the stimulus checks, as I mentioned. So keep in mind that the government is not going to ask you to pay upfront in order to get any money. The government is not ever going to ask you for your social security number, your bank account, or your credit card number. So if somebody is asking you for that information, hang up. So anyone who tells you that they can get money for you right now is a scammer. It's simple. So those are just a few of the scams that I thought I would share with you and just kind of put on your radar. And again, if you talk to your local folks here on this call, your local police department, they can also help turn you into the right direction to find out if something is truly a scam or not. Before I go on to talk to you about some of the resources that we have available for you right now, does anybody have any questions about what I've been talking about so far? You have to unmute yourselves if you have a question, I think.
Or you could just raise your hand up and I can unmute you. Okay, looks like no questions so far.
All right, if you think of anything as I'm going along, just save your question. I'll ask for questions again at the end. So I understand that you'd also like to hear a bit about some of the resources that are available for older adults at this time. And at AgeGuide, we have gathered a ton of different resources on our website for older adults. So again, you can go to ageguide.org and follow the link on our homepage. We have a banner up at the top that changes every few seconds. When it changes to COVID-19 resources, click on that banner on our homepage. And there you will find all of our resources, which we continue to update constantly, as well as a resource guide that you can use to look up different topics that you might be interested in getting information on. So I shared this with Marissa. Access to everything that I'm going to go over now. So don't worry if you don't catch all of it. Or if you have any questions about it, we can talk about that. So there's a lot of programs that have expanded their eligibility right now and waived the usual requirements during this current health crisis so that anyone can access them. So right now you have some new opportunities and some new options to consider in terms of support that you might need in various areas. One of the biggest changes that we've had in our counties is that the home delivered meals program is being expanded to include anyone who is over 60. And it used to be that there were income guidelines, but currently there are no income guidelines. So the meals are available on a temporary basis until further notice for anyone over 60. So I would tell you to consider this if you're having any trouble getting groceries or even just getting out to the store. We have so much funding for these meals that I really encourage you to take advantage of it. I hear from a lot of people, oh, I want to save that for, people who are really needy and need it more. But right now, the government wants to make sure that our older adults stay home and stay in their houses and stay healthy and stay safe. So they're offering these meals to everyone. So don't feel bad about it a little bit, frees you up not to have to go to the grocery store so often. The meals are excellent. They're balanced specifically for older adults. And there's volunteers who drop them off at the door. You can have no contact with anyone. They can just leave the meals. They're delivering them usually like twice a week, where you'd get like 5 meals at a time. So that's something you can sign up for on our website if you're interested in that. Some of you may have previously been going to the community dining sites, which was a great way for some recreation, hang out with some friends and get some meals. Obviously, those places are closed right now, but most of the dining sites are still available with go-to meals. So if you want to find a location near you, that's on our website as well, where you could go to some of the senior centers or the community dining sites and pick up some meals. Let's see, also with the economic crisis, there are some other resources. If you're having any kind of financial trouble related to this, or if you can't make your mortgage payment because of hardships due to coronavirus, the first place to start is making sure you understand what your options are and reaching out for help and not to be afraid to do that. So there's also a link on our webpage for mortgage relief options. The IRS has some information and they have economic impact assistance to help with some tax relief programs and things like that. So if you're having any financial issues, check out our website for those resources as well. Then I know that this time where we're all stuck at home has been challenging for all of us. So we have a list of resources about staying engaged while physically distancing. The crisis line of Will and Grundy counties is offering some friendly phone calls through its Sunshine Calls program. You probably have heard about this. It's a program that calls older adults or people with disabilities or other homebound folks to provide just a friendly chat to check in on their well-being. And you can visit the Will and Grundy crisis line at www.willfindyou, just letter U, help.org, and it's all one word, willfindyouhelp.org. And you can sign up just to get a friendly phone call, or if you're interested in volunteering and being that person who would make those phone calls, that's also something that you could get involved with. There's another resource that just started during this crisis that I wanted to tell you about because I think it's pretty cool. It's called Call for Calm. And Governor Pritzker has talked about this in some of his daily messages. It's sponsored by the Illinois Department of Human Services Mental Health Division. And this is a free of charge emotional support text line. Call for Calm is for Illinois residents who are having any kind of stress or mental health issues related to COVID-19. So this is a good resource to know about, even if you don't personally need it. But if you're talking to folks, you're hearing about folks, this is a really stressful time, and people who have anxiety could have, heightened stress levels right now. So if you or a friend or a neighbor is feeling really stressed and anxious, this is an easy way to just reach out via text message to get some help. So what you do is you text the word talk to this number, which I'll give you now. It's 552020, 552020. And you text the word talk. And Call for Calm is free to use. The people who text will remain anonymous. And once you send a text to 552020, within 24 hours, you'll get a call from a counselor who's employed by a local community mental health center to provide support. So these are licensed folks who are counselors, who are trained therapists or counselors. You can also use this number, the 552020 number, and text keywords like unemployment or food or shelter, and you'll get information sent back to you specifically about resources related to that topic and how to navigate and access support and services. So if you have a smartphone, I would encourage you to keep that number handy. If not for yourself, then for a friend or neighbor. There's a lot of other information in our resource guide and on our website, so I'll leave you to explore that on your own when you get a chance. We have a lot of basic health information on where to get PPE or face masks, and just general information about protecting yourself from the virus and keeping yourself engaged and active during this time. So thanks for letting me share these resources. Any other questions that anybody has? Anything I didn't cover that you were wondering about?
Any questions? No questions? Oh, okay. What was, Ed, could you repeat that?
Just want to say thank you. It was very nice to hear all that.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope you'll check out our website so you can make sure you've got those things at your fingertips, because I know it was a lot of information to throw at you all at once.